All right, so three, two, one. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode. Happy to be back filming episodes. It's just me today, but I got a great guest for you guys. Playing for Ole Miss baseball, reviving the program. It's electric to watch. Take a second to introduce yourself. And I mean, a lot of people already know you, but let's hear it.
What's up, guys? My name's Luke Hill. I'm from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and I'm a junior infielder for Ole Miss. And yeah, that's me. And I love playing for Ole Miss. Yeah.
That's awesome. And so, first of all, I didn't even know you're from Baton Rouge. So I gotta ask you, growing up, I'm assuming LSU fan. Is it
I mean, you grow up around it. Like, you kind of have your preferences, but like, you grow up around it. Like, that's kind of like I knew the SEC, like, growing up and being around that atmosphere was pretty cool, I would say.
what? So obviously, is it has it was it like a dream growing up to play for LSU? Uh,
It was just kind of one of those things where it's like maybe as a really young kid,
yeah.
but grow up and like for me, like as I kind of like matured playing baseball, I kind of realized that I kind of wanted to go out and do something different.
Mhm.
Uh, but like going like definitely as like a young kid, it was a dream. But kind of as you grow up, people have their preferences, but it is a very common dream. Like I completely understand it. Like
For
big
sure.
time program in state, like that's completely understandable.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't even gonna think about asking that until I until you said you're from there. I had no idea. Uh,
Yeah.
but what I really wanted to get into, and now it kind of makes it realistic, even with this question, especially now with the way the portal is. Just talking about the success you had in your freshman year at Arizona State, going in there, being named ASU's Defensive Player of the Year that year, succeeding also at the plate, being one of the best freshmen in the Pac-12, and then hitting the portal and going to a school like Ole Miss in the SEC where everything is, bigger, everything's a little better there, and it's an adjustment. And how has that adjustment been? How is it like to kind of be in the portal at the early stage when NIL kind of hit it and things started changing, and just how has it been? Obviously, because it's more rare. It's a rare story to hear about now, especially like for one of the first years that it opened up, and it's just a whole process. So take
Well,
us through that a little bit.
going out to Arizona State, like kind of just going out there in general, like that's 24 hours away from home. That's a pretty it's pretty far ways away from home. So I kind of got homesick for a little there at the beginning because grew up only child. Like all I knew was home. So kind of getting past that was a little bit, but it wasn't too bad. But Arizona State was a great time and whatnot. And once you start getting baseball season rolling, like everything's rolling, you don't really have time to think about that stuff. So I was comfortable by that point. I loved being at ASU and whatnot, and we were playing well. And I was fortunate enough as a freshman to have really good success early. So I had confidence from the jump. And, baseball is one of those sports where confidence is everything. So that really helped me out a lot and was fortunate enough to have a pretty good year. And kind of at the end of the year, I started to realize, like I said, that dream always growing up was playing in the SEC. I mean, it's the biggest place of baseball. Plus, also, I'm 24 hours away from home. Like, I want my mom to be able to watch me play. Like at the time, like you couldn't watch like Pac-12 network games. Like it was just
Yeah.
nearly impossible to get to,
Oh, it was ridiculous. I
and
trust me, I know.
it's impossible. So just kind of having that lack of outlet, I guess, like just that source, like I didn't really like that. And I felt like going to SEC and stuff, I can play on the biggest stage of baseball, like the biggest, literally the bigger version of everything. Um, and I was fortunate enough to have an opportunity to go do that. So going through the whole process, I felt like I should enter the transfer portal, and kind of the goal is to play closer to home and whatnot and play in the SEC. Um, so going through that process, it was harder than I would say a lot of people think for me, especially because I like comfort. Like I kind of like knowing what I'm doing. Like I like to plan ahead, and that's kind of the type of guy I am. Back at that point, it's like I had a month to make a decision where like I'm gonna play the next 2 years. Like that's kind of like a quick turnaround, and the coaches also had to act quick because like let's say like I'm just don't want to go play for them. Like they can't just wait for me and just wait on another guy. Like they got to got to go get their guys. So they're working on a time clock too. So kind of like that rapid pace stuff. And I had a lot of opportunities out of the portal that I'm very thankful for, but kind of having all those all at once, like for me at 18, 19 years old, kind of got a little stressful. Um, so you don't like everything kind of moves fast. And I was fortunate enough I had a great support system. And once I stepped foot on Ole Miss, that was the only visit I took. I knew it was easy. It was an easy decision. Like I I like being in a small group of people that I know. Oxford's a small town. Everyone knows everybody. It kind of just fit my vibe, and it's very low key. And baseball's big here, and the fans love it. So why would I not want to come play here? And they produce talent. So it met every single one of my standards, and I'm fortunate enough to have matched up here. But kind of one thing that you realize from an outside perspective is that what comes along with that is the expectation. Like you're in the SEC now, like you got to perform, like you're here to win, like that's kind of that one thing. And last year I didn't get off to the greatest. I'm not even going to sugarcoat. I got off to a horrible start. Like it was the worst. Like it was the first bit of adversity that I felt like I dealt with as a baseball player, like over a truly long, extended period of time. And it was not fun to deal with. You just kind of have to put your head down and keep working and kind of getting through those things. It just kind of helps you mature. And it was a really good learning experience. And I feel like kind of I took that with me throughout the rest of that year and just ended up having a solid year and doing my thing. And I just looked myself in the mirror, like, just put your head down and work and just keep going after it and everything's going to be okay. You dealt with that bit of adversity and just kind of learning from that moment and learning from that little bit of everything kind of catching up to you, because when you're not performing well, when the team's not winning, it's like you could go look at social media and everything's just going to be ripping you. Like they want to win just as bad as you do, and we want to win for the fans just as bad as they want to win. So it's kind of one of those things where if you don't kind of just take a step back, take a deep breath, and go about your business, where it could affect you. And over the course of the year, like I said, I got better about that and I learned about it, and I handled it. And going into this year, I knew exactly how to handle it and everything. And I feel like that's been one thing. I have all the confidence in the world. Um, the team has all the confidence in the world, and we know what we need to do, and we went out and did that. And having that and kind of using that in my favor, I think, is what allowed me to get off to a solid start this year.
Yeah, and very well said. And because a lot of people don't really speak about it, and I know other people when getting to the SEC freshmen, and actually I don't know if this was maybe a little bit before the season, but it spoke about another Ole Miss player, freshman, actually from New York. Like
Mm-hmm.
and seems like you've kind of taken him under your wing and as a mentor, and what a player to kind of take under your wing as a mentor, because as a high schooler, similar to what you were saying, I mean, he dominated, and everywhere he went, he was talked about as one of the best players in New York. I mean, I know it because I'm from there, and we had some of the best guys coming out of the Northeast in our state, and the talk of every town was Owen Pano. And, you know, coming to Ole Miss, one of the best freshmen, and obviously people talk about how it is to adjust to SEC play, and he struggled. And when he broke out, you're right there with him. And so, yeah, you speaking that to existence. I mean, you definitely see it on the field, off the field, the type of leader you are. So, yeah, that's very well said. I mean, that says a lot about the character and everything that goes into that process, decision, everything after it.
Yeah, man, I appreciate that. And one thing too, like with Pano, is like he's so damn good that like he's never had to like deal with like he's a good enough player to where if you were to tell me like if he didn't like ever go on a slump, I'd be like, yeah, like yeah, I see it. He's
Hmm.
that good of a player. And like everyone's human. There's gonna be times where you're not at your best, and like there's gonna be a stretch of games where like things just seem to like roll over, and kind of where like I see where he wants to win and whatever. He's a freshman. Like I can see where like for some reason if he like is just letting it roll over and the expectations, but it's not like he's handling it perfect. He's handling it in a
Yeah.
great way, and he's a very mature kid. And I feel like part of that reason is like not part of the reason, but one good thing too is if he weren't to be handling it that way, I feel like I'd be able to be there because I dealt with the same thing last year and he's handling it way better than I did. So I think that's a really good space that he's at, and he's gonna be one of the best players in the country.
100%.
And it's really good for him too. Like I let him know that if he's ever struggling, I did the same thing last year. So you have someone to talk to, and outside of that, we're close friends. Like we're the best friends. Like we hang out together almost every single night. It's one of those things. We're boys, so there's a really good relationship there.
That's great. And, all it takes in baseball is one moment to change the trajectory of a season, of everything, and, get that confidence back. And I mean, like you said, he's a great player. You saw it. He broke out. He hit that home run to put you guys up in that first
Yeah,
midweek. And he's had big moments all year. He's gonna be fine.
yeah.
For all the fans that, I see it. We see it on social media because I know, people attacking these guys. Like you said, the players want to win just as much. If they
That's
see,
one thing I told him too. Like I try and stay off of it. Like especially Twitter.
I don't even have Twitter.
There's a Twitter account. Like I have a Twitter account, whenever, and I could have access to it if I wanted to, but like I delete it, like unless I have to download it. It's not on my phone right now because it's just one of those things where it's like if you read too much into the highs, you're gonna read all into the lows, and you could have a one good comment, or like I could have one good game, and excuse me, let's say I could go 3 for 4 versus someone, and there could be 10 comments, and 9 of them are saying he's the best player, he's him, whatever. But there's one comment saying, yeah, but he went like 0 for 6 before, he sucks, like whatever. You're
Yeah.
gonna remember exactly what the negative comment said. So it's like if you kind of let those thoughts get into your brain, like it's just gonna take over. And social media is the number one influence in that. So you just probably should get off of it if you can.
Yeah, 100%. I completely agree with that. And so moving a little past this, I just want to first of all, actually, I got to do this because I got to shout out
Mm-hmm.
Jim because he was on with Dylan Loy and he has a question for you. Sent me this picture, and his question is, why do you look like a hoe?
I was too worried about not getting Bo Jackson at first base by the catcher. That's all I was worried about. I mean, my boy threw the ball, and I don't know. My just instincts react, and I went to go get the ball, and I saw this big dude running at me at full speed, and I knew he wasn't going to get out the way, so I had to try and at least get out the way, but I don't think it worked too well. Still, he still ran me over.
So, yeah, I said if you have any questions, now's the time. And he said I have nothing, but and then sent me that. So I told him I'll get it in there,
He's a good dude. He's funny.
of course. But on a more serious note, we'll move forward is to talk about this season just as a program. Um, a lot of the hype, like you said, you don't buy into that, and nobody should, especially the ones on the field putting the work in. But preseason and standings wise, a lot of the hype said, Ole Miss might not finish in the top half of the SEC. And so far, you guys have proved everybody wrong. Ranking I think you guys are ranked in the teens and everywhere right now. So like what has the key to just the success been, the change in I mean, obviously last year you guys were a good program, but still putting things together. A lot of guys came in and transferred, and this year you guys seem to have gelled more on the field. Even with losing the key guys like Fisher and Doyle, you guys have found replacements and found guys that have stepped up in big ways and played really good team ball. So what has that been like, and how electric has it been just reviving the program, playing these games at Swayze in packed houses?
It's it's awesome. Swayze's unmatched when it's packed, and the vibes there's bumping. It's unbelievable. But I think it's one of those things too, where like kind of going back to you said like the preseason rankings and stuff. I think I was very vocal, not like with the team or anything, because I try, like we don't talk about rankings too much. Like if we got ranked high, yeah, every team's gonna be like, oh crap, we got ranked high. But like it's not. We don't look at it like that. But before
Yeah.
the season, a media person were to ask me or whatever, it's a pretty simple answer. I mean, like we looked at it as, all right, well, we open up in Texas. We're opening up against 3 ranked teams. We're opening up against 3 big dogs. Like, who cares what the people say before the season? Because if we go out there and win these ball games, we're sitting in the driver's seat. So, like, what does their opinion even
Exactly.
matter?
And you
So,
job.
I think I think we kind of took that, or at least I did, kind of as like, well, so what? Like, it doesn't really matter if we do what we're supposed to do at the beginning of the year against these 3 teams. Yeah, we're gonna be put where we deserve. So kind of just going out to Texas and, we got a big opening win against Arizona. We got Hunter Elliott back, champ and all that stuff. Like he brings that like intensity, he's a natural born competitor, absolute dog on the mound. He comes out and goes, what, 6 shutty opening night. Like what? Like we're going to win that game. Like
Elite, yeah.
stuff like that, just kind of that bit of confidence and that bit of like a little bit of step forward, that little bit of life, like stuff, just small stuff like that. Opening weekend just gave us every bit of we're rolling into the non-con play. Like, all right, we shouldn't lose. Like, we need, like, if we handle business, like we just competed with the best of the best. Like, we could go out here and handle business for sure.
Of course.
And that's kind of the approach that we took. And same thing, like going, and we're going to take the same thing going in SEC play. The SEC is like it's a brawl. Like, I mean, every single game is going to be close. Every single game is going to like wear on your body just a little bit more. Just taking that aggression and taking that like just focus going into it, and we'll handle business.
Hmm. Yeah, and so I mean, you guys are also one of the most competitive teams in the SEC, I would say, and a lot of teams going into that, a lot of other players, a lot of other media outlets, a lot of teams counted you guys out. And in a week one, beating Clemson, like you said, beating Arizona, and competing with some of the top teams, everybody immediately shifted, and I think it says a lot about the work that you guys put in on the field in the offseason, the adjustments you guys have made, everything that you've spoke about. Because Nate, actually, I wish he could be on, because he came in on opening week and said my hottest take is Ole Miss is sweeping the weekend, and I mean he wasn't wrong. He said it, and
Yeah.
yeah, no, he's high on you guys. He's been high on the program. I wish he could be on because he would have loved this episode, but
Oh, that would have been sweet to have him on, but
100%. And it's I mean it's coming to fruition. It's electric. I love it. I think all the people now, like in all our group chats, saying like Natty hopes are back,
yeah,
and
it
that's the
it's
most electric thing about it.
as last year, like the expectation at Ole Miss. The expectation is championships. Like you won one, so now it's like, all right, that's the expectation every single year. So kind of like having that sense of life, and you don't want to get your like hopes up in terms of like thinking, oh, we're winning the Natty like immediately. Like you don't want to be thinking Natty, 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 but having that sense of, yo, we're legit. Like we're actually like we're handling business. Like this is what it really feels like to be a winning culture and a winning baseball team.
Yeah.
Having that feel and having that like kind of attitude going into dugout and going into games has helped us a lot. And I think it's going to help us a lot over the course of the year. And it's going to help us win baseball games because, baseball, like I said, baseball is a game of confidence, and it's just where your head's at. And, if we're in a winning program and a winning culture and just kind of in that mindset, we're going to win a lot of baseball games.
Exactly. And it also implicates a little more intimidation and fear into the other team. It's
Yeah.
just a good thing to have when a team doesn't go out there and look at you guys as a team that can take a game. It's a team that can sweep a series every time you guys are out there, and you guys have proved that. So 100% like what you're saying, it's big. And so, yeah, I'm so excited to watch SEC play unfold. I know the first week was a rough weekend. Obviously, the first game was a great game that you guys
Like,
took, and you guys, I Saturday, I didn't get to watch Saturday, but from what I heard, you guys had the game, and it was a close game back and forth. Uh,
mhm.
and Sunday was also very good. Sunday was all three games were good games, and I mean, like I said, it speaks to you guys. The Aloy brothers are unreal.
Yeah, they had a good weekend. They're really good. I mean,
they're they're
it's,
unreal, and yeah,
it's a tip your cap to. It's like you're really good at baseball. So
yeah, and they won them that series on Sunday. So
yeah,
to them.
yeah. Props to them.
Yeah, I mean, that was the top five team in the country, and three insane competitive games.
Yeah.
Great baseball.
Look, of course you want to win those games, and we feel like we could have won Sunday, or especially like one inning blew up on Saturday, so we felt like we're in a really good position to win all those baseball games. But you know, kind of just not letting it eat at you. You can like kind of take it as like, all right, like, well, now we know what we're gonna do in order to win these games because
Yeah,
you're in Super's time where we want to be, or
yeah,
the place we want to be in like regionals and stuff, like we're going to have to win those games and we're going to know how to handle those situations and we
Yep.
need to feel. So kind of having that experience early in the season against the top five team and a really good team in Arkansas every year. So, you know,
Exactly.
having experience against them, that's going to help us a lot.
Yep. You'll see them again. Arkansas is a very good team. They have been. They've proven themselves for years. And so, two losses like that, very competitive games, they're not losses to hang your head about, like you said. Now, before we head into rapid fire, because I do have, well, we could stretch. Yeah, we could stretch it to like if needed 11:40. But I have a class at noon my time. So,
All right, you're good.
so before we head into rapid fire, I just want to talk about a little bit like obviously the season's going on, so it's not the focus, but the draft process is happening and coming up, and it's just a whirlwind. Obviously, it's a lot, but what has it been like having this success in a year where now you're eligible to get drafted and the hype is just obviously skyrocketing? Like you said, I know you don't buy into things like that, and that's a good thing not to buy into, but it's definitely in the back of, it's definitely always on someone's mind, and it's definitely always the end goal to get to the MLB and to
Mhm.
get drafted. So, how has it felt, and how have you dealt with that, in the back of your mind?
I think it's one of those things where it's like, I'm grateful for all that and all glory to God for that. But I try and I know at the end of the day, like I want to be an MLB player, and that could be the route. If that's the best route to go after this year, then I'll take it for what it's worth at the time. But I think I go into every single day and I go into every and handle my business and all that stuff. Like my plan is like I'm coming back to Ole Miss next year. Like I'm more guaranteed that I'm coming back to Ole Miss next year rather than going to the draft. So I think for me, if I think about going every single day, like, all right, like I'm gonna work my tail off to be the best junior I can be and whatnot, and I'm gonna come back next year and help Ole Miss win a national championship. Like if I stay in that mindset and stay grounded in that way, I feel like I handle my business and go about my ways so much better. Rather than kind of just get my kind of one step ahead. Because what if I start looking ahead too much? Then like I'm not living in the now, and then kind of things can speed up. So kind of handling that. Like, of course, you have your moments where like someone could send you something. Like, I don't have Twitter, so I don't see all like because
Yeah.
Twitter's like the main one for all the stuff. So, like, I don't see too much of it. So I'm fortunate if I don't really have to think about too much of it. But every once in a while, your friends or your family or your advisor will send you like a cool tweet or a nice tweet or whatnot. So I look at that every once in a while. Like if someone sends it to me and cool, like having people, I guess, not praise, but just like kind of give you some credit and just like notice that you're working hard and stuff like that. It's good for you. It's good for you. Like, of course, seeing a little bit, it builds your confidence a little bit. But like I said, I try and keep it as I'm coming back to Ole Miss next year and win the national championship this year and next year. And I like that mindset that I'm at right now because I love this place and I love Ole Miss. And at the end of the day, like I'm just a kid trying to live life. So I think I think if I think about it as I'm just living my life right now and I'm living in Oxford right now, I'm in a really good headspace.
Yeah, I like that mindset, and I think that that's a good way to go about things. Yeah, I'm not on Twitter either. I don't like Twitter. I just like I can't stand when I'm trying to scroll and find something that I have to see stupid videos that I'm not looking for and stuff that I don't care. So
Yeah,
I've deleted Twitter. So if someone needs to send me something on Twitter, you got to send it to me on Instagram or my number or whatever.
yeah. I
I'm
need.
not going on the app to see
Yeah,
it.
I'm
That's
not either.
Nate's, yeah, like when we post clips, Nate's like, "Can you go and get the video?" I'm like, "You got to go on Twitter and send the
You
video."
That's funny.
I'm
That's good.
not, especially now. I'm not looking for a video on Twitter.
No, you
Yeah.
can put one thing on Twitter and it's just like not at all like in
No,
relation.
yeah, that's really bad.
Yeah.
Um, all right, I have an idea for rapid fire, and this is gonna be fun because we'll get this out tomorrow, and we're
All right.
posting pick'ems tomorrow. So I'll read you out our slate, and we could have you make pick'ems, and we'll put you on our post for the company pick'em this week, and we'll do that for our guest.
Okay, that's fine.
I think that's kind of fun. I'll put it in as the extra slide. We have another slate in the graphics. So unfortunately we don't have your series on the slate this week, but we'll add it. We start off We started off with Tennessee going into Bama for the weekend. Um, this is I so I'll give like my picks because it'll be out after I post this, but the episode will be out after I post the pick 'em.
This is such a hard question because I got boys on both.
Yeah, me too. So I'm filming with Will Hodo and Riley Quick on Monday night after the series, and Tegan like I'm boys with Fisher, Doyle, Tegan Kunz. They're all going to be on at some point this season too. It's yeah, it's right.
You take out. I know Riley pretty well, so take out if you take out Riley. I know Fish and Doyle pretty well. Take them out, so I'm gonna leave my friends out of it. Um, Jack Kesham's on Bama too. That's my friend. Damn, I know a good bit of kids on Bama. Okay. I think it's gonna be close. I think Tennessee will pull it out.
I went with Tennessee as well.
Okay.
I went with Tennessee as well. I picked before midweeks, but I'm still rocking with Tennessee.
Can I say my pick is no one will sweep?
No one will sweep. Okay, yeah. I'll put it in parentheses like under.
No one will sweep.
No sweep. All right. We got next. We have Wake Forest going into Clemson. If you don't keep up with the ACC, we don't have. I mean,
Merrick Houston's bowling, so I'm gonna say Wake Forest.
I went with Wake too, so
I
I
got
like it. Solid picks. By the way, I'm 28-7, so like
yeah. Oh, you're hot. You're hot.
I'm hot. And then we got LSU going into Texas for a big SEC series. Oh.
Mm, that's gonna. Texas is good. Texas is really good. LSU is really, really good too. Um, Let me think. If I might go off the top of my head, I think LSU is going to pull out 2-1.
I think LSU has a little more depth, and
Did you
I
pick?
know it's in Texas. I went LSU. I went
I,
LSU.
I think if I'm like 51% LSU 2-1, 49%
Texas.
Texas 1. That's where I'm at.
Want to if you want to change anything, you know you could DM me.
Yeah, yeah,
We'll go LSU. Then we have Georgia going into Florida. For no,
Florida,
you have Florida. Okay.
Florida.
I I took. Did I take Florida? Let me see who I actually took. I don't even remember. I have to see. I think. I think I did take Florida as well. Oh, my messages. The group chat messages is all Nate celebrating LSU being number one after after the Tennessee.
Yeah,
I went. No, I went Georgia. I went Georgia. I don't know
we're
why.
gonna. That's our first one that we're switched on.
This yeah.
Is at Florida.
It's at Florida. I don't know.
What is Capola still hurt?
I don't know if he's coming back. He was hurt last weekend. I'm not sure if he's coming back yet. But I don't know.
I
Georgia's bats
I,
have just been
I think
hot.
that's Friday. Peterson's a dog.
I love Liam. Liam is amazing.
Um, Clement, Clement's a dog too.
Yeah. It's gonna I mean, Florida's stacked this year.
Yeah, they're rolling. They
I think
got who's rolling, Danae, who's rolling. They got that lead
Brendan
off.
Lawson.
That's a dog.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, they have so much depth.
like he's hitting well, so
Yeah.
they're a solid team.
Tough to go against them. I went Georgia, just the bats have been hot. Trey
Yeah,
Phelps has been raking recently. I think he has like 6 homers in his last five.
yeah, that
That'll play. Hope he
yeah,
keeps it up for the weekend. Um, Robbie Burnett's also hitting. I mean, Slade Alford's been he always hits.
yeah.
Hopefully they can get the bats going at Condren. It is a good hitter's ballpark, so we'll
That
see.
is that is true.
That's where I went Georgia, but next we have A&M going to Vandy Had to put them in there just because just because they got dropped from the rankings.
Uh,
Maybe they'll win a series and make it back in.
uh, I mean, did Vandy beat Auburn this weekend?
Nah, Auburn actually hit I think it was I don't know if it was a grand slam, but I think it was a go-ahead grand slam.
Beat them, huh?
No, it was 2-1. Auburn
I
hit the go-ahead grand slam.
think Vandy will take it 2-1 versus
Yeah,
A&M.
I agree. Um, I picked Vandy. I just I have no
Yeah,
belief. I hope Jack is like can heat up and maybe A&M does something because I want to see him in the postseason, but I don't know. It's unfortunate.
they have such a lot. They have a lot of talent. So we're probably not that. I'm not giving them as much credit as they deserve. So that's my bad on their part on that part. But they're once they get rolling, they're going to be a really. They're not going to be a team you want to play. It doesn't
Exactly.
matter what their record says. I'm not. No one wants. Like, why would you want to openly choose to play A&M? Like, they're a really good team.
They're amazing talent wise. I'm hoping they put it together because
Yeah,
I think everybody wants to see them playing good baseball and it's exciting for
they
this.
will. I think they're too good not to.
Hopefully they pull it together.
Mm-hmm.
Um, next we have some Sun Belt action. Coastal Carolina at Troy.
I got some boys on Troy, so Troy.
All right, we went. I've had we have Matt Pepin. He's a stats director for Coastal on soon. So we went coast. Some of us went Coastal. Some of us went Troy. We're split. The company's split there, but I like it. They're both good teams. Next we have FSU going into Miami into the U.
My boy Wes is going to shove on Sunday. He's
He's
just
so filthy,
he's gross.
disgusting.
Yeah,
We I went FSU, but we have some people went Miami. So I mean,
I
there's a couple of us who went upset
think,
pick.
uh, I think Wes is going to take it down on Sunday.
Yeah, I think it'll be a dominant win on Friday and a dominant win on Sunday for FSU.
Yeah, I do too.
Um, next we go out west. UC Irvine goes into Santa Barbara. Had to stick this on there. Just
Well, my one experience with UC Irvine is they swept us when I was at ASU at home. So never mess with UC Irvine on the road. But that Bremner, he's still throwing good, right? Like
yeah,
I know I saw something week one that he had like
yeah. No, he's fine.
he's then Santa Barbara. I think that's one of those series where it's if you take Friday, you put your chips in on Friday. You think he's a really good pitcher and whatnot, and they're in a really good position to win Friday. So you get game one. It's kind of just one of those things. So I think Santa Barbara will pull it off.
Yeah, he's filthy this year. He is a 2.9 on the year.
Yeah, gross.
Yeah. I went Santa Barbara as well. I love him. He came on the podcast, one of the nicest guys.
Really?
Yeah, Bremner's awesome.
Yeah, he's good for him too because he's a really good baseball player too. So that's a good. That's
Yeah,
good.
100%. And then the last series of the week, we have Arizona going to West Virginia. Arizona's on a hot streak. West Virginia basically got their series canceled this past weekend. They played one game,
Yeah,
but
I'll say that I think Arizona's the better team, but I will say travel in baseball is a really big thing. So that travel across the country is going to be really hard to deal with. I still think Arizona will pull it out though.
I notoriously get hate for always picking Arizona because I'm super close with Brandon Summerhill.
Oh, really? Dude, he's a baller.
He
He
is he was my first ever baseball guest. Like
really
started my pot like 3 years ago now, probably.
half the time, like when we're opening weekend, uh, like I said, I keep up with ball a little bit and I just kind of see how people are doing and whatnot. Like every single time I see like an Arizona score, it's like Ben Simahoe went like way back and it's just like, oh, all right, oh, there's a homer. So yeah, he's good.
He's
He's pretty dang good.
yeah, he's I don't even I honestly Arizona ball like last year I was keeping up with them and they disappointed me. So it's been difficult to watch this year.
So because my freshman year when we played Arizona,
Chase
swept.
Davis was there.
Oh, that was he was the first player that I felt. Funny enough, I will say that like the players that I played at in the Pac-12 my freshman year were like it was just looking back on it, it was like just kind of it's like all right, well, yeah, Quinn Matthews, who's like
Oh
still
my
100
God.
now, Chase
So
Davis, Bazana, who else? Did Malcolm Moore? Malcolm Moore left, right?
Malcolm Moore's Rangers now.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Malcolm Moore gone. Tommy Troy, like it was loaded that year. So
Pac-12 was stacked. Chase
yeah,
Davis. Let me think about that. Yeah,
Chase Davis was the player that I played against that I was like, dang, like that. I
he
don't, I don't feel like I'm on the same field as him right now. He was going
came
off.
on the he came on the pod and we asked him what the farthest ball he ever hit was, and he said he had in like a BP session in high school that he hit a ball that was tracked 512.
Yeah. Do you see Nolan Schubart went 520 backside? I think I wonder if I'm gonna pull off a clean slate this weekend. We'll see.
That's funny.
Have you ever had someone pull off a clean slate as a guest?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Well, maybe there's a first. Hopefully, we'll see.
So trying to think. What kind of clean slate are you talking?
I know I'm talking about like the pick'em thing.
Oh! I haven't had a guest do pick'ems yet. I haven't had a guest do pick'ems.
Okay, we'll see how I do on the first weekend
I
then.
think you'll be good. I'm the only perfect weekend.
Really?
I'm the only perfect weekend. I had it. Actually, we don't count it as perfect because one of it one of the series split. They only played 2 games. So it drew, but I
Uh,
went 8-1.
then count.
Doesn't count, man. You could
That,
get
that
first ones up for grabs.
yeah.
All right. That being said, though, I gotta wrap up and get ready to head to class. But I
All right.
appreciate you for hopping on. This was great. This was awesome to do. We'll get you
Appreciate
on whenever if you want to come back on, just text me. We'll get it whenever you want. Nate will be back. We'll get whoever on. We could get the whole team. I could get 8 people in here.
all right. Just let me know. I'll
I'll
do it.
take 100%.
I appreciate you having me. This was a good one.
Of course. Anything else you want to say to anyone watching? If you want to say something to Jim, I know he'll be watching. If you want to respond to what he has to say.
Shout out to Jim, he's the man. Good dude. And then howdy toddy,
Howdy,
coming
Tom.
to the SIP, is the best place to be. And Oxford's heaven on earth. So expecting a lot of great things out of Oxford this year. So can't wait.
Love it.
So,
Everyone can go follow Luke on Instagram. It'll be in the description. And then we will have a lot more episodes out. Go watch them on ESPN Plus this weekend. Who are you guys playing?
we go to Missouri.
All right. Go watch them against Missouri. Clean sweep.
Hopefully, we'll see. All right.
Oh, I was talking about the picks, but yeah, that too.
You got goal every weekend is sweep everyone. So we'll see.
All right. I love to hear that.
I'll talk
Thank
to
you
you.
guys for watching.